I'm back. Welcome everybody to UnFNFiltered, streaming live every Monday through Thursday morning between 7 and 8 a.m. and weekday evenings, Monday through Thursday. Now, with exception of Wednesdays. Wednesdays I got time with the family and stuff, doing stuff there. But otherwise, hey, 7 to 8 a.m. and p.m. Come on over and join me. We get into all sorts of fun stuff. We got some fun stuff here today. As I was talking about this morning, Trump has floated the idea out there about possibly running for a third term. And you have got leftists losing their freaking mind about this. It's freaking hysterical. Now, I'm streaming live today over on Rumble and X, as well as I've even got a stream up on YouTube and TikTok. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to stay up on those two platforms. Quite often, I end up getting yanked down pretty quickly from those. So we'll see how that plays out. But for the time being, we are streaming up there. And hey, listen, if you want to join the chat, you want to join the conversation, I am monitoring the X and Rumble chat, as well as I've got an X space up and running right now. So if you want to join the conversation, hop on the mic, jump on over to the X spaces, hit the mic request button. You can join me on this conversation. So we're going to dive right into all this fun stuff. For anybody that doesn't know what the hell's going on. All right. On Saturday, the Daily Mail ran a piece. And that piece was saying how Trump could effectively get a third term. Now, just to bring everybody up to speed, I've got to remind you, it wasn't that long ago that an amendment to the 22nd Amendment was proposed. All right, and that amendment was to allow a president the opportunity to run for a third term if they had not already served 2 terms consecutively. The proposed amendment is designed to provide Trump with the opportunity for a third term while denying someone like Obama the opportunity to go for a third term. Funny, it's a troll. Okay, got it. All right. Well, obviously, Democrats have laughed that off, shut it down, said, hell no, we're not doing it, whatever. Okay, well, apparently there's a loophole in the 22nd Amendment. That loophole being that the 22nd Amendment says that you cannot be elected to a third term. Now, some people want to say, oh, but the 12th Amendment establishes who can be, who's a viable candidate for president and all that stuff. But we got to remember, the 22nd Amendment basically updates, and unless it specifies, then that is the updated amendment. And the 22nd Amendment says that you can't be elected to another term. However, if Trump were to, I don't know, say run as J.D. Vance's vice president, his running mate, and then J.D. Vance ends up winning, and then he ends up resigning from the presidency, that would effectively make Donald Trump president again for a third term without him being elected. Now, this has got Democrat voters all in a hissy fit, and it's hysterical. I am loving it. I am loving it because this Daily Mail piece, it effectively states, hell, let me see if I can just pull it up here. Let me find it right here. If I go over here to my profile, I know I posted about it. Let me find it here. Here we go. I'm gonna pull it up here. Let's see if I can swing it over and pull this up. All right. So we have a loophole in here, and it states that in this scenario, Trump could remain in the White House beyond what really happens. And experts say yes. In fact, the path for Trump to serve a third term and potentially a fourth until January 2037, when he would be like around 90 years old, is not only possible, it is simple. thanks to the loophole. In fact, carrying out would not require an army of lawyers to perform some type of legal acrobatics or anything like that around the Constitution. The same procedure could be used during multiple elections just over and over and over again. Effectively, Trump could serve as president indefinitely based on this loophole. Now, opponents, as the article says, opponents, they would challenge it, take it to court and all that stuff, argue that it breaches the 22nd Amendment. However, Professor Peabody, a constitutional expert, stated it would be pretty hard for the Supreme Court to undo. Now, this is what has leftists panicking, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. Some of the total outrage and panic modes that we're seeing are hysterical. Of course, obviously, we've got Trump talking about it today. So first, I wanna pull up this call to activism account on X. They love to freak the hell out about everything. So call to activism. They're posting the White House is in overdrive trying to downplay Trump's promise to run for a third term, but the cat is out of the bag. Since Trump opened the door to the idea that Vance could win in 2028 and then pass the power to Trump, that means Vance must be rejected as the candidate. They are freaking out. Check out this little clip. Let's go ahead and play the clip real quick. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. You gotta love it. It's I'm loving it. It's a troll, obviously. Would Trump actually run for a third term? No, he was not. But you know what? I'm gonna amend my statement. Yes. All you leftists that are freaking out about this over here, yes, he is absolutely running for dictator of life. Don't pretend like don't think for a second that he's not, and it's a troll. Don't think for a second it's a distraction or anything. Don't think for any of that. No. He is absolutely running. Y'all focus on that. Stay focused on that. Don't let that out of your sights. Meanwhile, Trump's signing executive orders requiring voter ID in all 50 states, and we've got the House primed to vote on the SAVE Act again this week. So, but yeah, y'all stay focused on that. We want y'all focused on that. In fact, we even have The View focused on it. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. All right. All right, let's hear them freak out about this. This is going to be great. Let's go ahead and hear them freak out. It's so much fun hearing the liberal freakouts over this. Let's go. Nope, it's definitely not, Whoopi. Don't you try to get people to focus on this other shit. This is what y'all need to be focused on. Now, isn't it interesting that we don't have term limits on Supreme Court justices? We don't have term limits on House reps or senators. The only branch of government that we have term limits on is the executive branches. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Why the hell is that? See, now that's a really good point there, Sonny. Okay, yes, need to change the 22nd Amendment. Okay, um, actually, though, he doesn't need to change the 22nd Amendment in order to exploit the loophole that the Daily Mail was talking about. 22nd Amendment doesn't have to be changed at all. But you Democrats that don't want the 22nd Amendment changed, you might want to consider this amendment to the 22nd Amendment and allow Trump to just go for that third term, which the amendment proposes, as opposed to leaving the 22nd Amendment the way that it is, allowing Trump the opportunity to exploit that loophole and just remain president indefinite. Completely up to y'all. Completely up to y'all. Y'all decide what the hell y'all want to do, but let's go ahead and continue listening to what these cackling hens have to say. Not lawless. Completely within the realm of the law. Anna Navarro seems to think she knows all this shit. I love how often Anna Navarro ends up just being proven to be an absolute moron. But let's see if we can catch her again. This signal gate bullshit. No one gives a fuck about it. Nobody fucking cares about it except for y'all. Y'all want to stay focused on that shit. But the thing is y'all already gave up your hand years ago. Years ago. When y'all refused to pursue Hillary Clinton. When y'all wanted Hillary to be protected and y'all said, oh, no. You established that precedent that there has to be intent to harm or intent to violate the law. If there wasn't intent, then there's no reason for anyone to be in trouble. That was your excuse for Hillary. Now, I see a lot of y'all fuckers out here now saying, oh, but her emails, if you're not saying lock them up after saying lock her up, then you're a hypocrite. Nah, see, that's not true. That's not true. The way it works is unless you were saying lock her up with us years ago, then you don't get to say lock them up now. You don't get to. Now, we, on the other hand, we do get to say, we want the law applied equally. And based on how y'all applied the law to Hillary, that's how it's going to be applied to them. So anyways, I'll let you go ahead and continue saying your shit about the signal thing. How's it a threat? How the fuck did it threaten anything? How? Nothing was really revealed. Nothing. I mean, I think the whole mission went off without a hitch. I think it was really effective. I don't see that as incompetent at all. I think that it did a phenomenal job. But okay, I'm waiting to see how y'all said that it was a failure. Y'all keep saying they're incompetent or whatever. Seemed to be pretty fucking successful to me. Okay, so yes, I can agree the stock market is kind of hooky right now because no one knows if there's going to be a tariff, if there's not going to be a tariff. It's all up and down. There's total uncertainty. Total uncertainty. He needs to get his shit in order and together around that. I can agree with that. That is kind of a catastrophe going on right now. But I mean, we just have to see how that plays out. He's the fucking president. We go ride or die with this dude. They're using this term disappeared. All right, no. Okay, illegal aliens are, yes, being collected. All right, they're trying to target the violent ones. But if they encounter any that aren't violent along the way, they're not just, oh, you're not violent. You go, no. They're trying to target the violent ones, but if they encounter any that aren't violent along the way, illegal alien is an illegal alien, period. And they're being deported as fucking promised. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what? You got a problem? If they got a problem with it, maybe they can deport themselves, and maybe they should have never fucking came here illegally to begin with. Oh, I'm ready for y'all to talk about it all the fuck you want to. Talk about it every goddamn day. But stop lying about the shit and using your innuendos and your newspeak bullshit. All right? Speak honestly about it. So yeah. All right. Sorry, I got a little distracted there for a second because my spaces went down. I got the spaces back up. Remember, everybody, if you want to join in on this conversation, you want to correct me, admonish me, or whatever, by all means, go ahead and jump on over to the X space, hit the mic, and you can go ahead and join the conversation. You can also let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. But yes, local elections. We're talking about local elections. Yes. All right, Stefanik's name was pulled for her nomination because they didn't want to narrow that majority that they have in the House right now. There's nothing fucking wrong with that. Yes, it's called playing politics. Yes, I love the example that you used there. Playing chess. Yes, because they're master chess players. A hell of a lot fucking better than you are. All right. Yes, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. But at the same time, y'all fuckers are trying to rig rule for the entire country. For the entire country. And one fucking local election over a Supreme Court justices. What is it? I want to say it's Wisconsin it is. I think, I forget which state it is. But no. You motherfuckers. So there's a conservative majority in this state for Supreme Court justices, and they're trying to rig it so that way they can get a majority of liberal justices in there. So that way these liberal justices can corruptly gerrymander all of the voting districts to turn red districts where the overwhelming majority of the population vote for Republicans. They want to gerrymander it so that way, regardless if the majority of them vote for Republicans, they're all going to be blue districts anyways. So that way they can get more Democrat representatives in the House to then subvert Trump's presidency. That's right. That's right. But guess what? We play chess too. We play chess too. That's one of the things I love about Elon Musk. He's a master chess player. That's why his ass is there. That's why he was there this weekend, and he's paying people $1,000 to go out and door knock. Oh no, he can't pay for votes. He ain't paying for votes. He paying for people to go out and door knock. That's just hiring door knockers. That's all. That's all he's doing. Okay. Oh, he offered $1 million for votes. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He offered up $1 million to two different people, and it was going to be a random raffle. A random raffle, and all you had to do was just sign a fucking petition. That's it. That wasn't for a vote. That wasn't for a vote. Yeah. In fact, y'all want to whine and cry about it. It went to court, and the judge ruled he wasn't going to stop nothing because he wasn't doing anything illegal. Y'all want to say he was, but he's not. So, yeah, we can play that game too. So we'll find out tomorrow whenever that election's held. Let's go ahead and hear what else they're saying here. Now, yes, I've been saying for a long time, local elections is, yes, too many people ignore their local elections. And that's what's the scary. That's why we're always in the fucking debacles that we're in, because people only want to pay attention to national elections. They don't want to pay attention to any of the local shit. And then while they're sitting back, twiddling their thumbs, playing video games, watching porn, whatever the hell they're doing, instead of paying attention to what's going on locally, all these local elections are happening, and then national election comes around, and they're wondering how the fuck everything got all sort of out of whack. It's because y'all weren't paying attention to your local elections, and that's what y'all need to be doing right now. Looks like I got Joel joining me over there on the Axis. How you doing, Joel? Go ahead. You want to join? It looks like you got the request button. Let me go ahead and hit that. Let's get you up here on the stage here. How you doing, Joel? How you doing? Should be coming through momentarily.
Check, check, 1, 2, 3.
There you are. How you doing there, man?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. We just watching some of these people freaking out over Trump with his possible third term. What are your thoughts on that?
We just like to do a little trolling.
It is definitely a troll. It is definitely a troll. But the greatest thing about the troll is that it's actually feasible. It's actually...
For the record, there's Andy, I think Representative Andy Ogles is his name. He has a bill that proposes that whoever is non-consecutive in the first 2 terms can run for a third term. That's something that's percolating, but it's not really fully brewed yet.
Yes, that is the proposal that was made to bring in, if you have not served 2 consecutive terms, then you could run for a third term. It is a proposed amendment to the 22nd Amendment. I was just speaking about it a couple minutes ago. Okay, and it's designed specifically to allow Trump the opportunity for another term, but to deny Obama the opportunity of another term. Now,
to be honest, I thought it was you can only have 2 consecutive terms, and then or if you have one non-consecutive, you could run again post with, but that's not the case.
So the way it used to be is there used to be no term limits at all. That's why we had FDR, and he served 4 terms. We died during his 4th term.
Well, to be frank, it was a war, and there was like a lot of other stuff. There was also the Great Depression.
I understand why he won, but they didn't suspend the elections for it or anything. He still won his terms, and it was when he died during that 4th term that they actually passed the 22nd Amendment, amending it, putting term limits on the president, which there are no term limits on congressmen or Supreme Court justices, only the executive branches. It's pretty crazy.
Also, isn't there like how what was the life expectancy back then, way back yonder compared to now?
The life expectancy? Well, I mean,
Yes.
way back yonder, he says it. You know, the crazy thing is it really wasn't that long ago. It was, hell, you're looking at maybe 80 years ago. You know, because it was the 40s. It was the 40s. So yeah, you're looking at about 80 years ago. You know, that's crazy.
Still, I
It wasn't
mean,
that long ago.
there's still a difference between.
But the life
Sorry.
expectancy was like 75, I want to say, around then, and we're not that much different, not that much off now.
I mean, remember during the primary, Ron DeSantis stated that he was against raising the Social Security age because life expectancy was going down because of all the deaths of despair and the suicides and drug overdoses. That's also been a case for our expectancy for the recent few years.
Yeah, I concur on that. So now, what I find interesting about this whole 3rd term thing and the 22nd Amendment proposal is you had all the Democrats shooting down the proposal and laughing at it like, no way, we're not doing that. Okay. But now we have this loophole that's been exposed in the 22nd Amendment where Trump could effectively be president indefinitely as long as he continuously gets people willing to run for president and step down with him as the running mate. Because it's the whole exploitation of the word elected in the 22nd Amendment. You can't be elected to another term, but you can inherit another term if you inherit it as a vice president.
Last time I checked, I think Shapiro said that you have to be able to serve the presidency in order to be vice president.
So that's what Shapiro says, and that's based on the 12th Amendment. However, that's where the argument comes in, where the 22nd Amendment kind of supersedes the 12th Amendment. So that's where you have this exploitation of it, and you've got legal experts, constitutional experts that are saying, I mean, you can make the argument, but it's going to be really hard for the court to undo it. If a presidential candidate resigns, steps down, the process goes through, and Trump's sworn in. It's just like with the certifying of the election with Joe Biden. You know, they rushed that certification, hurried up and got it certified, and then that quashed all of the legal cases that Trump had because there was no legal recourse that he could take after Joe Biden was sworn in. And that's where we're at, and that's why it would be very difficult for them. Not saying that there's not a legal argument against it, not saying there's not, but constitutional experts are saying that it would be really hard for the court to undo it. Now, like you said, we do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling. Yes. If Democrats don't like this, and they don't like the possibility of this exploitation of this loophole, which would be a total chaos factor, right? You know, there is something they can do. They can go ahead and approve the proposed amendment, because that would solidify things. What are your thoughts?
Well, the proposed amendment, I mean, doesn't need to go through both houses of Congress, and it's currently ground to a halt with as much of a minuscule, slight majority that we have. But it's not like a super majority, unfortunately.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is Democrats would have to agree. And so one reason that it's not going anywhere is because Democrats are shooting it down.
But I mean, that's what I think.
But if Democrats don't want the current amendment, the way that it stands, to be exploited, then they may want to consider amending it, such as the proposed amendment that's been put up. That's my thoughts on it. Just a thought. But another thing that we got coming up this week. Have you heard we got the SAVE Act coming up for a vote this week in the House? You heard about that? Oh no, looks like I lost Joel. Okay, hopefully he'll get back up. He's back in here as a listener. Go ahead and hit that mic button again, Joel. It looks like you dropped out. I'm not sure what happened, but no. So we've got the SAVE Act up for a vote this week, and so anybody that's not aware, the SAVE Act basically is just it's shoring up our elections and ensuring that you have to be a legal citizen to vote. That's it. Voter ID is required and all that stuff. Now, people say it's already illegal for illegal aliens to vote. Yeah, it is, but there actually is no repercussions if an illegal alien votes. The way that the laws sit right now, no illegal aliens are allowed to vote, but if they do, what happens? Nothing. The SAVE Act gives us some kind of repercussions for it, and it's just going to help shore things up for us. Now, it looks like Joel's requested to speak again. I'm getting him up, but he looks like he disappeared again. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, anyways. So, with that said, the SAVE Act is up for vote in the House this week, and we also had Trump sign an executive order. Oh, looks like my space just crashed on me. Let me go ahead and get that thing started again so that way I can get Joel back in here. I don't know why spaces act so honky like that, so wonky whenever you're running them from a computer, but it ran perfectly fine this morning. But what you gonna do? Right? So let me get that thing up here running again. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I appreciate y'all. And do me a favor, drop your comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are on everything that we're discussing here today. I really want to know. I can highlight any of them that y'all bring up. But if y'all got any links that y'all want to share, you want me to pull up and view with you, go ahead and post them in the chat. I can pull them right on up and we can go ahead and get a view at them. So let me get this space running again. Space is up and running again. I got the mic there. So, okay, back to this SAVE Act thing. So the SAVE Act is up for vote. And here's what's really, really interesting. I'm going to pull this right on up here. Okay. All of the states that Harris won do not require voter ID. That's right. The states that Harris won don't require voter ID. I think we all know why Democrats do not want the SAVE Act passed. Because if the SAVE Act is passed, that's going to require all of those states that Harris won to require voter ID, which could easily affect Democrats being able to win in the future. Now, you've got Jasmine Crockett. This chick, I swear to God. This chick. She's out here saying, the SAVE Act is yet another bogus attempt by Republicans to suppress the vote. And this time, they're targeting women. This bill would make it damn near impossible for millions of women who change their last names after marriage to cast a ballot. They're trying... Okay. So the SAVE Act requires your legal ID that you're going to use for your voter ID. It requires that name to match your social security number. It requires all the matching. So, okay. They're claiming that this is them fucking reaching. They are reaching so hard right now. Oh, it's about suppressing women's votes. It ain't about suppressing women's votes at all. If anything, you would think that Democrats would be all thrilled about this because they've got the single woman vote on lockdown. They do. Overwhelmingly, Harris dominated with single women during the last election. Married women overwhelmingly vote for Republican candidates. So if it's really about suppressing the women's vote, we would just be suppressing Republican votes. not Democrat votes. It's not really going to affect them at all. Why? Because we got so many Democrat women that get married and they refuse to change their last name because, they're not traditional or anything like that. That's the majority of the Democrat voter base. So it's not going to suppress their base. That is, unless their base is all made up of illegal aliens, which is what we really know is their biggest concern. They don't want those illegal alien votes suppressed. But it ain't suppressing any women's Democrat votes. It's only going to be, if it is suppressing women's votes, it's only suppressing Republican women's votes. So you would think that Democrats would be all about this, but that's not what they're upset about. And we all know that's not what they're upset about. So that's the interesting thing there. So now we got some other fun stuff that's happening. So I ran across this the yesterday. It's freaking hysterical. So I'm first gonna come up here to this woman. Now this woman here, white liberal woman, tapes her mouth shut when black women are speaking. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. If you're listening to it on the audio, you might want to jump over to the video so that way you can hear it there. But here we go. Let's go ahead and watch this. This woman. So I'm going to try to, make it, explain it. I'm gonna explain it to you. So this white woman, she's like easily in her 50s or something. She puts tape over her mouth and she's like looking at the camera like she's listening, and she's taking notes down on a notepad. And the caption says, "When black women are speaking." So when black women are speaking, you're supposed to tape your mouth shut, shut up, and just listen. Don't you dare question anything they say. Don't you dare push back on anything. Black women are superior to white people in general, especially white women. And this white woman knows that. She knows that. So, all right. So we got that out of the way. But then I happened upon this, and this is freaking hysterical. All right. Here we go. We got Brandon Straka. And he's out talking to some protesters here. Let's get a look at this. Let's go ahead and play this one. Here we go. So, okay. That's where we're at so far. We're on that. So, black women aren't listened to. We need to, sit back. We need to trust them. That's what we need to do. We need to trust black women. Just listen to the black women. Trust the black women. That's what we got so far. Let's continue.
Millions of black women voted for Trump. Should we trust them?
You gotta freaking love that. You gotta love that. So we got the one woman in the video I just showed you. When black women are speaking, you tape your mouth, you shut up, and you just listen. You just listen because they know what they're talking about. And this white woman here, we gotta trust them. We gotta trust them. They know what to. That's it. Okay. What about the millions of black women who voted for Trump? This is what else she has to say. What do you think? Tell us what you think. What do you think? Okay. You can trust them when they vote the way you want them to, but when they don't vote the way you want them to, now you have to question whether or not they're trustworthy? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that they're voting against their own interests. That's what you're saying. How the fuck do you know what their interests are? That's what I want to know. Who are you to say that they voted against their own interest? Because, you see, I keep seeing these videos coming out of black women thrilled about everything that Trump is doing, saying, this is what I voted for, this is what I wanted, about damn time, I've been voting Democrat for years, and everything they ever promised me, they never did. Trump promises me shit, and he does it. Let's keep going. She wants to say, yes, they don't have good judgment, but she does. She's got herself caught. She's caught. She can't criticize a black woman. She ain't allowed to criticize a black woman because that's what she's been told. The liberal indoctrination has made it very clear to her she is not allowed to question black women. Not at all. But, so she's going to say that she's not going to question them. But then she's going to say, oh, they don't connect the dots. Looks like we got Joel joining us again. I'm going to go ahead and approve that while I go ahead and continue this clip. No. We didn't say that. We didn't say that. I mean, but you are saying that. Not true. No. These black women don't need to be educated by white women like us. No. They're smart, intelligent black women. They just don't know what they're doing. Oh, you're going to educate. You're going to educate them because they need to be educated, right? Because they don't know. They don't know. So then what the fuck are you doing standing out there on the street trying to convince people with your bullshit protesting? It don't get any better than that, folks. It don't get any better than that. We got Joel joining us again. How you doing, Joel?
Hanging in there. Just had some technical glitches. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Can you hear us all right? Did you hear that clip I was just playing?
Yep. The Karen trying to educate, quote unquote, educate us on how to properly go about in the world. I see your future very bright as being an HR representative.
My future being very right, or hers?
Hers, because you can't spell her without HR.
That's right. You're right. You can't. But yeah, that just goes along perfectly with the clip that I played just prior where we got a white woman putting tape over her mouth. This is what you're supposed to do when black women are speaking. But then you talk to these other white women and you let them know that millions of black women voted for Trump. And oh, no.
You're not an oppressed minority if you don't follow the rules.
You just can't make this shit up. I love it so fucking much. I can never get enough of this. I can never get enough of it. So, yeah. Some other news. This broke on Friday. I'm really thrilled about this. I don't know if you can see this, Joel, or if you're just listening to us on the space, but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and swing it back on over to here and swing this up here in other news. Salt Lake City demolishes the George Floyd Memorial. Check this out. Breaking it down. Look at this. Take it down. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Tear it down. Now, I'm surprised we didn't get a whole bunch more outrage about this on the circuits, but then again, I
I
guess
mean, it's Salt Lake City, Mormon capital world. I mean, there aren't many African American Mormons, are there?
you know I never thought about that. You're absolutely right. And you know what else? You know what else I also noticed? I came to this conclusion. Now, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Have you ever seen a Native American with a beard?
I think I think maybe certain tribes do have it, although you're asking the wrong Indian.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. We were watching Yellowstone. We were binge watching all the Yellowstone series, and then I'm sitting here, as we're going through every single one, and then I get to thinking about all of the other like Western films I've seen, and anything that ever includes Native Americans in there. I'm like, what? I started doing a Google search. Can Native Americans grow beards? And then I saw some pictures of some, but it's a rarity.
I guess it depends on the culture and however restricted it is, depending on what region and what subset you are. It probably falls on under that purview.
Well, it just goes to show that races and cultures are different, right?
Of course, I mean,
And they're not all exactly the same.
I mean, the reason why we call Native Americans Indians is because Christopher Columbus mistakenly thought he was in India when he was in the Caribbean, as we know.
I mean, that's what they tell us. That's what they tell us. I don't really know. I mean, maybe. I think they just wanted to call them engines. I think that's what it was about. I think that's what it was really about.
I mean, a lot. I don't think there are many dark-skinned people during the Middle Ages, unless you were. I mean, the darkest you got was Black Plague, but
What?
still.
Whoa! What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I watch movies. All right, I watch movies, and I've been thoroughly informed that there've been dark-skinned people throughout all of European history. In fact, I recently watched that Gladiator 2 that had starred Denzel Washington, and he was a prominent Roman. He was a prominent Roman, and another Macbeth with Denzel Washington and Macbeth. It's very clear.
Of course, you had to go with the Macbeth. You had to go with the Denzel Washington examples.
I mean, I'm just saying. I've been thoroughly informed. What was it? There's a Netflix show that recently came out of what was it? Troy, and they decided that they were going to make what was his name? Crap, I forget his name.
Achilles, Hector.
Achilles, that's who it was. They decided they were going to make Achilles a black dude from Africa. Now,
so the guy who has the weakness.
Yeah, I've seen statues of Achilles. I've seen depictions of Achilles all throughout history. That's a white dude. At most he's Greek. He ain't some big bald black dude from Africa. I mean, look. I get it. It's like Matt Walsh says. Whenever you got what's that movie? That prison movie that you've got Morgan Freeman.
Shawshank?
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption, right? And you got Morgan Freeman playing as an Irish dude by the name of Red. Well, they didn't really establish that the guy was Irish in the movie, and Morgan Freeman's a good actor. And it's the same thing with Denzel Washington. He can pull off these different roles. It doesn't really matter if race is a factor. However, you wouldn't make a Martin Luther King Jr. movie starring Tom Hanks as Martin Luther King, right?
Oof. Or Lord forbid, a Malcolm X movie.
Oh yeah, you would not cast Jackie Chan as Malcolm X. You definitely wouldn't do that. So why are we race swapping historical figures? I mean, look.
Especially redheads.
Yeah, redheads make up for like 1% of the human population, but Anyways. Speaking of Matt Walsh, we got some other fun stuff that's happening. Matt Walsh has been trending all day, and it's based on his hot take that he put out there of how to fix America in 4 easy steps. He says, 1, you must speak English fluently to vote. I don't think that's a bad rule. I mean, English, listen, I served in the Navy, and when I was in the Navy, they made it very clear. In military service, all communication had to be done in English. You were not allowed to speak other languages while serving. You had to speak English. All orders had to be issued in English. All instructions, all communications had to be done in English. And then we got Trump establishing, which just blew my mind that we didn't already have it established as a national language, but establishing through executive order that English is the official language of the nation. I gotta say, I agree with Matt Walsh in this. You should be able to speak English fluently to vote. Second, you must be a U.S. citizen and only a U.S. citizen to vote. I agree with that too. You should not have any other national interest. You shouldn't. You should be America and America only. Then this is the big controversial one. You must pass a fifth grade level civics test. And I agree with that as well. Now, you've got Democrats out here posting all over Twitter, oh, not a single Trump supporter could pass a 5th grade civic. I beg to differ there. I mean,
Wasn't there a game show called Who Are You Smarter Than the Fifth Grader that was hosted by Jeff Foxworthy?
There was. Yes, there was. And, but at the same time, it's easy to forget some 5th grade stuff, but when it comes to civics, I mean, listen, I don't give a shit if it calls the Republican voting base, as long as it's calling the Democrat voting base too. So I'm not opposed to that either. And then we got his final one. You must not be on any form of welfare to vote. Yes, ooh, I agree with that. But I think there's another rule in here that Matt Walsh has neglected. Okay, and I understand. Hell, this would nullify my vote at this point in time, but I think that it needs to be re-implemented. Once upon a time, you used to have to own land to vote. You had to have a vested interest in the land to vote on matters regarding the land. I currently do not own land. Now, I'm looking to eventually buy land here sometime within the next year, but I currently do not own land. So that would nullify my ability to vote. But I strongly believe that you should be a landowner to vote as well. What are your thoughts on all of these, Joel?
So I agree with for the most part. Number 4, would student loans count under that term or no? Because a lot of young people have been pushed into higher education because...
So that's not welfare. Welfare, you don't have to pay back. Now, if your student loans are being forgiven, if you're one of those people that had your loan forgiven by Joe Biden, yes, that should go ahead and disqualify you. But if you were not privileged enough to get a forgiven loan and you're still having to pay back your debt, I mean, I don't see any issue with people having debt.
And in your case about the 5th rule that you added, how many young people are able to even buy a house anymore at this moment in the economy? I mean, with BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, and lots of private equity acquiring lots of land to be perpetually rented out for, and the supply of housing being low, as well as there not being much interest in building housing that much.
I get you. I hear you completely on that. And that's where this would all start to turn around. If you made it strictly with all of these 4 rules, but then at the same time you have it where you only own land, well, that's going to call a lot of the dumbasses. That's going to get rid of a lot of the dumbasses that have been voting.
Although how many rich leftists own land?
Yes, but at the same time, you're still going to call a lot of dumbass voters. And you're going to have only intelligent voters. And So you're going to have more people voting conservative than liberal when it comes to intelligence. And so eventually, yes, right now it doesn't look good for the younger generations. Absolutely. I agree. But if you get more intelligent people voting while eliminating dumbasses from voting, eventually all the laws are going to sway in the favor allowing prosperity again. That's my thought on it. It might take some time. There's going to be some pain, but it's like the old saying goes, no pain, no gain. You know what I mean?
Understood. I mean, that's what the tariffs are doing to all the economic absolutist libertarians right now,
Absolutely.
causing them to freak out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think I have one more thing that I wanted to touch base on before I called it quits for the evening, because I got to get upstairs. I promised the little lady that we would watch something together here. So I've made a commitment to her. She is perfectly fine with me streaming from 7 to 8 every evening as long as I am hers by 8. Here it is. It's right about 8. So I got to wrap this up real quick, Joel. Let me play these real quick, and I think you're going to love them. This is phenomenal. Here we go. Let's bring it up. What are your thoughts, Joel? What are your thoughts?
I mean, no wonder the EIB chose him as one of the replacements for Rush after his passing.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right, I got one more for you. And listen, this is some of the best advice I've heard in a long time. And I ran across it and I was like, damn it, I gotta share this. So I want to share it. This is for all you married folks out there, any of y'all that might find yourselves having a little difficulty in your marriage, some of y'all that haven't gotten married yet, but you will. You will. This is something you really need to remember. This is the secret to a happy marriage. Let's go ahead and get that play in here. That's right. That's just that was so heartwarming when I saw that. I had to share that with everybody. Don't get a divorce, get a donut. If you got a hole in your relationship, fill it with a donut. That's it. That's it. Those are my thoughts. Joe?
I mean, I saw that video. It was pretty funny. The fact it was an Asian couple owning a donut shop.
Are you questioning their ability to make donuts, Joel?
No, 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 no. I mean, at least we know it's more homemade.
I mean, possible. No. I mean, listen. I don't know if you've ever been in the back of some of these Asian restaurants. It's questionable. I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah. Joel, listen, I appreciate you joining me over here on the Spaces and talking to me and having a good time with me, and all you folks that are watching out there on the live stream, look, do me a favor, drop your comments. I want to see those comments. And the whole purpose of this show is to engage with you guys, engage with y'all. Y'all can join me on the Spaces like Joel does. You can join me in the chat, however which way you want to go. Every morning, Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. And in the evenings, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I ain't doing it Wednesdays. I got something I do on Wednesdays. And don't forget, look, check it out. Y'all can join me and my buddy Greg at 9 p.m. on Friday nights with Talk About It, where we get into all sorts of stuff, not just political stuff, but we get into all the fun stuff. We got some fun stuff we're going to be talking about this Friday, so y'all ain't going to want to miss that. Got some conspiracy stuff that's going on, some breaking news about Egypt and stuff, so you're going to want to tune into that as well. And but yeah, Joel, I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate everybody else out there joining me. I'm going to say good night. And I'll see y'all in the morning.
Later.
UnFNFiltered!